Hi, it's Rabbi Lewis wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom. Our Torah portion this week, Parashat Tavo, has the phrase in it, "My father was a wandering Aramean." And I read this and I think, my father wasn't Aramean. I don't even know any Arameans. My father was actually Albanian. Well, at least he was born in Albany, New York, so I think that's the right term. We'll fact check that later. But at any rate, when we read, "My father was a wandering Aramean," there's a level of mystery to what it's actually saying that I think gives it infinite applicability from the past to the present and even ongoing into the future. In that we may not fully understand what it says, but we can apply it in different ways. So the commentators debate whether the Aramean was Laban, who oppressed Jacob by tricking him and forcing him to do all this extra labor for him and made him into an oppressed wanderer, was the wandering Aramean Abraham, who left his home and had to wander to a new place? Or is it just generally understood as someone who, like the Jewish people in the diaspora, have gone from place to place, struggling to find home where we could live and thrive, of which generally in recent history we have, but that hasn't been our long-term history. So wandering Aramean, again, infinitely applicable for all ages, and not just for us, but for all people. So when we read about what it feels like to be a stranger in a strange land and how far we've come, it also tells us that we need to take responsibility for others who are uncomfortable. Now, let's just take a small anecdote from my life that was relatively innocuous and consider some of the lessons. When I was finishing 4th grade, going into 5th grade, my elementary school closed, and we had to transfer to another school. They actually had the foresight to first match us up with pen pals from the new school, like a buddy system, where we wrote back and forth to each other, and then planned special visits between us and our pen pal buddies, who then eventually welcomed us for a special tour and a day at the new school. Therefore, when we started at the new school the next school year, we actually felt like we were acclimated at home, like we knew where stuff was, that we actually knew at least one person who could look out for us and make sure that we felt at home. It's really a great lesson, a good forethought of the administrators of the schools. When I look back, thank you, administrators and principals and teachers of Ridgeview Elementary and Briarwood. Look what I've grown up to be. Anyhow, we consider this on a much larger level about how we welcome strangers into any new place. Perhaps it's in our workplace, a new employee. How well do we onboard them, train them, teach them the company culture, look out for them, allow them to make a few mistakes so that they can grow and learn? In our temple community, how well do we greet somebody at the door, make sure they know which way to open the prayer book, let them know where the kippot are if they choose to wear one, know where the restrooms are? How well do we guide them through a service or an event or all of these things to truly get to know them so that they want to come back, and if they come back, they know somebody, they have a familiarity with the place, and truly feel like they are welcome. We look at this on national levels. When people immigrate, how well do we make sure that they have the basics that they need? Not just the material goods, but also the feelings of safety and security, that they don't have to constantly be looking over their shoulder about who might not want to welcome them warmly, who might want them gone. We have a duty to protect them. We were wandering Arameans, and in a way we're always wandering Arameans, because even if we're not oppressed, we can consider and remember what it felt like to be oppressed, and know that the new person in our environment feels that insecurity, that lack of safety, that feeling of not being sure that they belong. Ultimately, that's the guiding lesson of Tavo, and let's keep on learning it. Anyhow, have a Shabbat Shalom.